A confession, before anything else. For most of my life, I thought I knew what the word prayer meant. It meant asking. You wanted something, or feared something, and you sent the request upward, like dropping a letter in a box and hoping for a reply. Prayer was a transaction. You spoke. Something out there listened, or didn't. And the whole thing was measured by one question. Did you get what you asked for? For a long time, that quietly disappointed me. Because measured that way, prayer mostly seems to fail. Then I started reading the people who gave their entire lives to it. The contemplatives, the mystics, the monks who prayed in silence for decades. And I found something that stopped me. Almost none of them describe prayer the way I'd assumed it worked. They don't talk much about getting things. They talk about being changed. That's the mystery at the center of this. If prayer isn't mainly a way to change your circumstances, then what is it changing? And why did the ones who went deepest come back saying the point was never the answer they received, but the person they slowly became? Let's start with the ordinary picture, because it isn't wrong, it's just small. Across nearly every culture, in every century, people have prayed as petition. For rain, for healing, for a child, for safe passage on a journey. This is prayer as request, and there's nothing shameful in it. It's the honest cry of a small creature in a vast world. Every tradition holds a place for it, and holds it tenderly. But sitting quietly alongside that, in those same traditions, is a second kind of prayer that isn't asking for anything at all. Not petition, not performance, not even words past a certain point. Just presence. The desert monks of early Christianity practiced it, sitting in silence, repeating a single short phrase, not to inform God of anything, but to still the noise inside themselves until they could actually listen. In the Eastern Christian world, this grew into what they called the prayer of the heart. A few words, repeated so gently and so often that they slipped from the head down into something deeper, and seemed after a while to pray themselves, in rhythm with the breath. What those monks were after would quietly outlast the empires around them. And here is where the transformation shows itself. Because when you stop using prayer to get, and begin using it simply to be present, the thing that changes is you. The noise settles, the grasping loosens, the endless inner argument goes quiet, and slowly the person praying is worn smooth into someone more patient, more awake, harder to frighten. They didn't change the weather. They changed the one standing out in it. Let me put it as plainly as the old teachers would have, in a small story. Two farmers pray through the same drought. The rain comes for neither. The first rages, and his fear hardens into bitterness, and by the next season, he's a smaller man. The second sits each dawn in the dry field and simply says his few words and grows still. The rain never comes for him either, but something in him widens. He meets his neighbor's need instead of only his own. Same sky, same drought. Two entirely different men walk out of it. Only one of them was changed by prayer, and it wasn't the one whose request was granted. There's an even quieter room in this house, and it's worth stepping into. Some contemplatives went past words entirely, and past images too, into something they called the prayer of silence. An anonymous English writer in the Middle Ages described it as entering a cloud of unknowing. You let go of every thought you'd normally hold up to the divine, every picture, every clever idea about it, and you simply wait in the dark, wanting and nothing else. It sounds like doing nothing. The ones who practiced it said it was the hardest work a human being can attempt. To sit, empty-handed, and not fill the silence. to stop managing the encounter and just be present for it. Traditions differ on how far to take that, and it's fair to say so. Some hold the words close and never let them go. Others release even the words. What they share is the direction of travel, down and in and quieter, toward less, not more. Teresa of Ávila, a Spanish nun in the 16th century, wrote about this with unusual precision. She pictured the soul as a great castle with many rooms, and prayer as the slow journey inward through them, chamber by chamber, toward a center where the self finally meets the divine. Notice the direction of her image. Prayer isn't reaching up and out to grab something. It's traveling in and down to be found. Not acquisition, arrival. Which raises the doubt you can probably feel coming. If nothing outside changes, isn't this just a comforting trick? A way to feel better while the world stays exactly the same? The mystics would answer that you've got it backwards. The world you experience is filtered, every waking second, through the self doing the experiencing. Change that self, its fear, its hunger, its restlessness, and you've changed everything it touches. A frightened person and a peaceful one can stand in the identical situation and live in two different worlds. Prayer, in this reading, doesn't rearrange the room. It rebuilds the one who walks into it. Bring that into an ordinary week, and it stops being abstract. Think of the last time you were truly still. Not scrolling, not planning, not performing for anyone, not even for yourself. For most of us, that stillness has become rare, almost extinct. We've filled every small gap with a glowing screen and called the noise connection. The old monks would recognize our restlessness instantly. It's the exact condition their prayer was built to dissolve. Sit, breathe. Let a few quiet words carry you under the surface of the day, and something in its nervous grip begins to let go. Notice what happens in you, even at the thought of it. So here's the reveal this whole thing has been circling. Prayer, at its deepest, was never a machine for changing God's mind. It was a practice for changing the one who prays. There's an old word the Contemplatives kept reaching for, slow and unglamorous, and it names the whole quiet enterprise: transformation. The petitions still rise. The asking stays human and good and welcome. But underneath it runs the deeper current the mystics gave their lives to, the long, patient reshaping of a person from the inside out. And that answers the question we opened with. What does prayer change, if not your circumstances? It changes your center of gravity, the place you speak and act and love from. And a life pours out of wherever its center happens to be. So maybe the old measure, did you get what you asked for, was always the wrong test. The better question is the one the Contemplatives spent their whole lives leaning toward. Not what did your prayer get you, but who did it slowly make you? There's one door left open, and only you can walk through it. Find a little stillness tonight, and let it begin its slow work. Keep seeking.